Welcome back to another Road to the Open video. Now, if you've not seen these before, this is my journey to hopefully playing in the Open. So you saw we've done a video with Nat about my hips and hopefully getting them firing a little bit better and getting me ready for golf and my fitness ready for golf. Now, on this series, on this journey, what do you want to see? Comment down below what you want to see. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of an insight into the end of my range session and just experimenting here and how I can actually hit the golf ball a little bit further. So I want to talk through three things. Tee height, and that's really important. How high do we want to tee the golf ball? And what I use, I have three different tee heights that I use out the golf course. And I actually practice these as well here. I then want to talk about how I want to feel that the golf club continues to stay wide. And finally, where we need to hit the golf ball on the club face. Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Or is it here? Let's find out through this video. Let's start this first bit by talking about tee heights, and I do this throughout my whole range sessions, okay? So, traditionally, half a ball above the club face. Well, yeah, I don't think you're gonna go too wrong with the ball teed up at that height. First off, if I'm gonna hit a little bit of what I call a low stinger, so if it's really windy, I'm into the wind, I would tee the golf ball down pretty low. So you can see there, roughly about, if I put my fingers underneath, about two fingers underneath the golf ball. So really quite low. So I would stand there. I know what this would do for me. It's gonna give me a little bit of a lower trajectory, a little bit of a fade trajectory. And I think what the key thing I want you to get away from this, what do those tee heights do for you? I'm exploring what my game does for me because I want to have these scenarios. I want to have a low one, I want a fairway finder, and obviously I want that one where it's like bombs away. So let's hit this first one. We'll show you on the screen here because we're at the beaches. Let's pop this on. Give you a really good insight to how far this ball's going to go. So, real low one, first off. Absolute bullet low. That is my first ball. The next one would be that medium tee height. I call this one the fairway finder. I have this one teed up at roughly just the ball, top of the ball lined up with the top of the face. So what most people use is like their standard tee height, possibly a little bit of ball just above the face. And this is what I have if I need to hit that fairway. Now what I do with this, I would probably think about this way as well. If my ball's teed really low, I would probably match the feeling in my swing, so the impetus and the speed, to be a little bit lower. Ramp up the speed a little bit higher on that fairway finder because it's not essentially something that we're going to hit really low, something that we know we're going to hit the fairway with. So second one is my fairway finder, and then we'll get into the high tee height. Honestly, it gives you some confidence when you start to learn what happens with what tee height. Finally, the bombs away, high ball, tee height. So this is the one where I guess you've got to think about the scenario in which you're going to use this. It's not going to come out every round. It's not going to come out every other round. There's probably one or two situations potentially a round or every other round where that ball will come out of the high bombs away. Now I think about this as, okay, this is a par 4 where I can reach it. That would be a scenario which I'd use it. Is this a par 5 where if I hit a good long drive away I can reach it in 2, really take advantage? And there's other things that I've got to take into account. Is it the right wind? For me, a long wind is down at my left shoulder or down at my right shoulder. A wind into or wind off the left and off the right directly. Not a good wind for me to try this. And where's the trouble? Is the trouble left? Is the trouble right? Is there much trouble down there? Those are things you've got to take into account when you're going for that high tee ball. Take this one away. So the final one, the one where I really look to master and hit my longest ball, is teeing it high. You've got to practice this. Practice these 3 tee heights. I'm doing it down here at the beaches, doing some really good practice, and if you're in the area, this is the place to come. So final ball. Then we'll get onto the concept of what I'm trying to feel to keep it wide, and then onto strike location. The next bit is this concept of keeping this golf club wide. So I'm going to grip it in the middle of the shaft here just to show you. So what we're trying to feel is, on the way down, this golf club makes a wide arc and works wide on the way through. Too many golfers don't maximise their speed. It's up and this golf club gets pulled in and across the body. So look at this now. This is not going to create a lot of speed, a lot of width. This is So how I picture this is, okay, on the way back, our arc is always going to be further this direction. Because we're shifting and transferring our weight, our arc wants to remain wide, but it's going to work a little bit more inwards. So how I would think about this is, we've got some other videos on this before, but our arc would work back here. Imagine our club head was tracing this woggle. As we start our downswing, our arc shifts closer towards the golf ball. So it's out and it's in. But what I want you to feel is, we keep it wide. So the way that I feel this, and I might use this as part of my pre-shot routine on the range, but definitely between holes, like if I'm walking down the fairway, got my trolley in front of me, just feel it. Keep the club in your hand, feel it, let the trolley go slowly in front of you. These things help you build around. Don't think you can't do it. You can stand there, feel these certain aspects, so do it. So I feel it, trolley's walking ahead of me, stop for 2 seconds, up, keep it wide, turn it through, perfect. I've got that feeling of the golf club gathering and staying wide on that downswing. Final part of this video is, how do we maximize strike? How do we get the most distance out of our club head? Well, a lot of the theory is, where's the fastest part of our club? Well, actually, the fastest part of our club is this toe. This travels on the most outer arc of our golf swing and will always travel the fastest. Now, we don't want to actually strike out the toe. That's going to give us some wounded pigeons, some little low hooks that either go off to the left or off to the right. I'm not going to mention you, mate, don't worry. So we've got to think, right, okay, well, this is the fastest part, but actually this is the one that's traveling the most fastest in terms of speed. But the most efficient area is actually a little bit above center and a little bit out the toe side. This is going to give us the most ball speed. We're going to get a combination of centre of mass directly behind the face. Centre of mass would be sitting somewhere probably around here. Now with certain drivers it's sometimes lower and further back. With other drivers that are lower spinning drivers, the centre of mass is closer towards where the face is. Now a little bit of technology in this. If you're centre of mass and you can control these weights, like I have done here, I've got my weight, heavier weight, closer towards the face. Now this is moving my centre of mass closer towards where the face is, reducing a little bit of what I'd say your consistency in terms of dispersion, because you're reducing your gear effect, but I'm moving my centre of mass closer, which is meaning I'm going to get a little bit more bang for my buck with lower spin. Okay, one thing to bear in mind, you may hit a few more errant shots with it. So, ideal place to really train this is feeling as though we can get one a little bit high out the middle, roughly around here, to maximise your ball speed.